Everyone to Stars by Night. Tonight we have an impromptu show for you to talk about the McKenzien Project. We want to thank you for tuning in. And we have a special guest with us tonight, who is Milton M See.
Good evening. How you guys doing?
We're good. How are you?
All right. I'm glad to be here.
Are you excited?
I am excited.
I'm excited too. So we've been getting a lot of fodder and banter and questions asking, what's tonight's live chat about and what is the McKenzien Project. So, we're going to discuss a bit about what it is and get down to business, talking about all things McKenzien. I'm sure you guys want to know what exactly is the McKenzien Project. Also, just a bit of background. It really started out of a conversation between men and women asking, why are you single, or why are you in the relationship that you're in? And a lot of the single women just saying, we can't find a good man.
There's no good men out there. And I will say that if I was dating now, or I had to date, I would be like, I don't really know if I want to do this, because it's like, we have this thing like, oh, that's just my friend, or we've known each other for too long, or we can't date, or he's too nice, or I don't get butterflies. Like, you hear it all up to why you're not dating this guy, or why you are dating this guy, even though you know he's no good for you. So
that's why we brought Milton, because we wanted a guy's perspective, but we want you guys to participate as well. And Toneil's going to tell you how to do that.
Okay, so basically, you can get interactive with this conversation by asking your questions on our Instagram account, which is Styles by Night. And there's a picture that's posted that says live with either Brandii or myself. And you can post your comments below the picture to ask your question or make a comment, or just say, oh, we like the show, we don't like the show, don't like your hair, don't like what you're wearing, whatever.
Let us know. We won't be offended. Keep it tasteful. I always have to say, stay classy, because classy questions and classy comments get classy responses.
So if you are not tuned in, or you know someone, tell a friend to log into YouTube/Styles by Night. That is where you're watching. You can just either copy and paste the link or comment on the picture and tag a friend.
So let's get started, guys.
And welcome.
So guys,
What is the McKenzien Project? Because I know that I've had people ask me, like, what is it?
I heard that the purpose of it is to identify good men. Apparently, there's a shortage on good men, and we believe that somebody knows one. It's kind of like Waldo. He's out there somewhere.
Where's Waldo? Where are all the good men?
That's what I keep hearing, that there's none.
Okay, so I know initially when we thought of this whole idea and we were discussing it, we posed it as, good single men. So, my good fan, he's a great man. Can he get involved in this whole Where Are All the Good Men McKenzien Project?
Well, of course. It's changed a little bit. So just to answer some questions and get a little bit of fodder, we'll tell you guys right now, Styles by Night is not the brainchild of the McKenzien Project. We're merely helping to facilitate it and get the conversation going. What can I say about it? It really is a social experiment, not necessarily a contest, or it's not like Mr. America,
who's the better man,
who's the better man. It's just really helping to dispel the myth that
there are no good guys out there. And sometimes just to kind of like big up your man, basically, like I have a good one, or to show appreciation to a friend that you think is a really great guy. Just, you guys are friends and he's not a great guy romantically for you, but you want to say, I respect this man. He's either a good father, he's hardworking, he takes care of his family, he is involved in the community. Whatever the case may be, this is a way to recognize that man.
Well, then the question is, why are we having such a hard time getting this project off the ground?
I personally think that people just think that they don't want to nominate someone in the event that they come off thirsty.
I think that's it too.
So, oh, now sparks start to fly. It's like,
Oh, is she feeling?
Yeah, does she like me now? Is she trying to get at me? I don't see her that way. Does she know I have a girlfriend?
Yeah.
So I think the fear of like, okay, I want to nominate someone is, okay, do they think I'm interested? And the fear could be too, like, you are interested, and then you don't really want them to know, possibly.
Well, here is the cool thing. You can be anonymous. You don't have to put your name. We're not going to search your IP address and say it came from this household and this was the person and put your picture up on blast. Honestly, it just is about recognition, and moreover, it's about getting a conversation. As we said, each of our pictures are on our Styles by Night Instagram. Post your comments there, post your questions, post your opinions, because we want to know what exactly is going on. People are talking behind closed doors. People are talking in their circles. We need to know, and we want to start the conversation,
basically. So, females, it could be your brother, it could be your husband, it could be a friend, a cousin. Basically, you just want to recognize a good guy, because you never know that by sharing these qualities of this really great guy, somebody's watching. So it could spark a romantic situation, or it could just be, you're just recognizing a good Black man, which, we are.
Could be a good man in general. Doesn't have to be Black.
True. Well, the question is, are all the good men married?
I don't think so.
Are there any good men, actually?
Yes, there are good men, and there are a lot of great men who are married. I would say that at this stage in our lives, like, a lot of people are just like, I kind of want to settle down. I want to share my life with someone. I don't want to be alone. I want to have a companion. So it's like, even if they're not necessarily married, I would assume, or I think, that a lot of the good guys are taken.
You know what? I'm gonna beg to differ. I think it's a bit of different things. Number one, it's life, the lifestyle. The North American rat race has become really busy. You're working 2 jobs, you're working overtime, extra hours. Sometimes you feel, I know for a lot of guys that I talk to that I qualify as good men, they literally want to put their all into a relationship. They feel it's an investment. And for them, if they're career oriented, they feel that they wouldn't be able to do that. So a lot of them are trying to get their careers established, their business established.
And I get that. But at the end of the day, like, you have to come to the place of, okay, if I don't want to do this alone, I'm going to have to make time for someone.
Very true.
You could be open and honest and say, this is the time that I have. This is the time that I can give you. Are you willing to rock out with me or no? The reality is, if you say, I'm going to do my career, you could be possibly missing out on some really great experiences with people because you're so driven with your career. There has to be a balance, I believe.
What do you think about that?
I'm asking, actually, I want to go back and find out what makes a man a good man.
Everybody's opinion is different.
Yeah, everybody's going to have,
And that's why I want to hear, what makes a man a good man?
Like, they're going to be like, well, he provides, or he gives me quality time, or he buys me things. It really, to me, really looks into your love language and what you appreciate, because every quality that I think represents a good man is not what Brandii thinks represents a good man.
Very true.
It could be about looks and not about qualities or characteristics for some people. It could vary.
Okay, so based on that, seeing we're personalizing, what would you say are 3 things that
makes a good man?
Yes, what are your 3 things?
Okay, I think honesty is so important.
Okay.
You need to be able to get me. I don't even know how to really say that. That sounds cliche, but we have to be able to interact on all levels, meaning that we can sit down and watch TV and it's okay. We can be in the car and not talk and it's okay. We can joke around and it's okay. We can play sports and be okay. Like generally, we have to just be okay with each other. And I definitely will say, someone who respects women and his mother, or elders, respect is important, because basically the way that he treats his mom is almost a reflection of how he's going to treat you.
That's what I said. That's what I said. We're asking those on out there, please, I'm interested to find out what makes a man a good man. What would you say, Brandii?
For me, I think that a lot of the qualities Toneil said, but in addition to that, confidence. Confidence. I know a lot of guys out there that they're shy and they're afraid to approach women sometimes. And I mean,
how long are you gonna be shy for?
And this is they've been doing this for young.
Like,
so
we're not
just take a shot.
High school. You have to get past this shyness. Like, you have to get out and talk to people. You can't just be sitting in a corner admiring someone. Nobody is gonna be catching your glimpse when you're walking across the hall, or walking down at work, or walking at church, or at the bus stop, or you guys are riding the same train every day and you're just watching me. You're not saying hi.
That sounds kind of pervish.
You're not making conversation. You're not saying, oh, you're not getting, like, if you're interested in someone, you have to make a move.
So you're talking about confidence or swagger? What is it?
Confidence and swagger are different.
Okay, what is the difference?
For me, swagger can sometimes come across as pompous.
Okay.
Swagger can also be materialistic in a way. Confidence is something that's internal, that you exude from inside. Yes.
Okay. Wow. I'm curious to hear what the ladies out there are to believe.
We're looking.
Yes. Are they posted?
They are looking at some questions. Let me just get them into this here.
So at least we agree that they are good men.
There are good men. Yeah. Definitely there are good men.
Because I hear that no good men.
I think that's
I think the reason why we hear that so often is that women have been hurt.
Okay.
We've
been hurt too.
But women and men hurt differently.
Okay.
So
break it down for me today.
No, really, men, when they're hurt, they are like scarred. They don't want to deal with nobody else. They don't want to talk about it, but they wear it. They wear the hurt. For women, I feel like we tell people like, no, I'm not interested. The wall goes up. I'm not dating anyone. All men are the same. It looks too good to be true. All these different things are gonna happen, and you can't let one bad apple spoil a bunch, basically. So there are good men out there, but we also have to let the guard down as women to be open-minded to getting to know someone. And not every man who talks to you is trying to get at you, or sometimes they just making conversation. They can pay you a compliment. It does not mean that they are, he wants me now. No.
But men have to listen to her. Men have to take it in a different way as well. They have to understand that even though you compliment a woman, or you're looking to maybe advance that compliment to mean something else, if the woman kindly declines, take it for what it is.
So no means no.
No means no.
No doesn't mean maybe.
No doesn't mean maybe. Because women are very definitive.
Okay.
If we mean yes, we mean yes.
What if she's playing coy though?
Yeah, what if she's trying to play hard to get?
Women often do play coy. From the beginning of time, we've always set the relationship barrier. It goes back to the beginning of time.
Okay.
When you're walking by a man, you're coming out of your horse and carriage, you see him, you lock eyes. You can't go up necessarily in those times and say, all right, I'm going to make a move. But you do something to get his attention.
Have a little fun.
Have your little fan, drop your handkerchief, do something like that. He's like, excuse me, miss, you dropped this. Hook, line, and sinker.
But that's back in the day. I'm talking about now.
But women do those things like that now.
Why?
We just do it differently.
Okay, so let's think about it. Does it even make sense to do this McKenzien Project?
I believe we do. I think it's very important. I was speaking to Sant about it last week, and the importance is one, I feel, particularly as a man of color, I think that's the appropriate term, we tend to be undervalued. And the only time I really hear about us is in a negative light. If we're not in handcuffs, seems to be a lot of negativity. I don't often see a lot of upliftment of men overall. And it's good to identify somebody, say that person is doing something positive for the community.
I agree.
I think that it's valid, and maybe we can eventually build this to identifying positive female role models in our community. But at this stage, I think it's very important for us to identify men who are doing something positive.
So the question again comes that, okay, is this like some kind of dating thing? Like, are we trying to set people up? Or is it just recognizing a good man? What do you think?
I think it has, as you mentioned before, it has the possibility to blossom into something. Because I think if you're single and not thirsty, and you're on a page and you identify all these gentlemen out there that are considered of positive or of character, or the word Toussaint likes to use is of integrity, it could blossom to something. If you have your little fan and your kerchief and all that stuff and you can identify with them, why not? But I don't think that's the overall purpose. I think the purpose is to identify and have, I think there's a trickle-down effect. If I'm at the outside and I've noticed that all the people that I know are being recognized for being positive, I think it has the opportunity to inspire me to contribute.
Okay, that's fair. So anybody out there, we want you to participate in the McKenzien Project. This is a live interactive show. So we want you to post your questions to us on Instagram. We will be checking the questions. We will be responding to your questions and comments. It is interactive, so please participate. You can comment about anything, or you can even start to really think about, is this McKenzien Project a go or a no? That's the poll. Is it a go or a no? So we want you to hashtag go or hashtag no. Does it even make sense?
We need you. The question I have for you is it possible that there are females out there that are deficient in identifying a good man?
Yes, very much so.
What?
I do think so.
Why you look like that to me?
I think just like there are deficient men, there are deficient women.
Yeah,
I think there are women.
Are you thinking that they don't know what a good man is?
I think it's possible. I think if a good man came in the room,
they wouldn't know. They wouldn't know a good man.
Wouldn't be able to identify him.
Okay.
I think
Even if he had a sign on.
Their vision is skewed.
And their vision is skewed, or their vision is blurred. It's like having cataracts.
All right.
But
they're searching for that.
They're searching,
but it's
cloudy
mindset,
because
right?
it's a mindset. They have old hurts, old wounds that they haven't moved past. Right? They haven't been able to deal with that. They more compartmentalized it,
okay,
and they're tucking and they're rolling, right?
Yeah, that's a lot of trauma.
But it is.
Okay.
But I wouldn't even say So yes, I do believe that there are deficient women out there, but I also believe that on the other side of the coin, there are deficient men out there. There are a lot of deficient people who haven't dealt with their baggage, and they're bringing that baggage into the next possible scenario or the current scenario that they're in. And a person can only take so much. Am I wrong?
And carry so much.
And carry so much.
Did Erykah Badu have a song about bag ladies?
Bag ladies, put down your baggage.
Put down your bag, please. Beg you do.
But to you, you're looking at us kind of like,
Well,
Speak
once
on
I
it.
kind of understand, once I really put it to thought that, okay, yeah, maybe they, like you said, they really just don't know what a good man looks like. Even if you walked in the door, they wouldn't be able to identify it, because what they believe to be a good man doesn't necessarily identify with what the characteristics of a true good man are.
Okay. Which are?
More than what he can do for you financially. That's a possible outlook that people want to be with someone like, you know, we always talk about, we might joke about it, like, you better have a job, you better have a house, you better have this, you better have that. Yes, that's all good and fine, but at the end of the day, if you lose everything and you want someone who's going to really love you for you, not just who's going to be able to provide you with the necessities, which, yes, that's what a man should do. He should be the provider. But I want someone who's going to love me despite. So if we fall and it's all gone, can this work?
I think a good quality as well is someone that I can grow with.
Okay.
I want someone that I can grow with. I want someone that is emotionally stable, so that I want someone who's emotionally stable and grounded, so that they can, you know, be an emotional support for me if I need them to be, and vice versa.
I want to back up. What is emotional stability? What does that mean? Can you ball?
Are you billing me to hours? This is what I care.
Hey,
but he has to be able to express his feelings.
Yes,
that either means communicating verbally. That might be tearing up a little bit, letting the tears flow. That could be emailing, writing down his feelings, some form of expression, and that it doesn't get bottled up, that you want to explode now, and all your emotions now turn to rage, which could in turn turn on me, which could be talking down to me, it could be abusing me, it could be isolating yourself, or doing other things that are not really beneficial for your character or for the relationship.
Okay, so you want somebody who is aware of their feelings and able to communicate with them.
Exactly. Yes. Whichever really best. Yes.
In real time.
In real time.
Okay.
Not 5 years down the line, like, you know, you really hurt me for the way.
5 years?
I know.
Yeah. If you don't address it right now.
Tell me what's happening, how you're feeling, what's going on. I can sit there and be like, oh, I'm getting silent treatment. Did I do something that I didn't remember? You know, what's happening? Like, is he mad? Was it a bad day? Is it me? Is it work? Now I'm trying to figure out all these things when you could have just been like, babe, I had a bad day. Or, you know what? I didn't like when you did XYZ. Or, you know what? I was silent for you for a day because I had to process my feelings.
Okay.
And that's cool. I have a couple of questions and comments.
Very nice.
So we have one from 2 Cents, who's asking, so if everyone is holding so much baggage, wouldn't this project be what we need for social change? Speak on it.
You know what? Possibly, but again, people have to get out of the feeling of, oh, what are people going to think by me nominating this person? We are not really ones to show appreciation all the time.
We, as in?
We, as in people in general. I just think generally we don't always want to praise. And I will say, as a culture, sometimes we don't always want to see the positive or the happiness in others because maybe we're not at the place we want to be.
Okay.
So it's hard to be like, wow, this is a really great guy. You know, he's doing things in his life, or he's an exceptional husband. And I just want to, you know, I want to find someone who possibly has these characteristics or is like this.
But I think it even goes even deeper than just nominating somebody. I think if nothing else, it's the social change is creating a dialogue and creating a platform where we can, you know, where we can discuss these types of things. There's so much like men are from Mars, women are from Venus type of thing. And it's like, okay, but if we visit the moon and we can visit Mars, why can't we communicate? It's like, I don't get it. Like, we just almost like a culture, we've decided that we're separate beings, and that it's just it is what it is. And men are men and women are women, and we're not going to change, and it just it's what it is. Sorry, and I don't think that we're static beings. I don't think any two women are alike, just like I don't think any two men are alike. So I think definitely encouraging a platform like this is is the goal.
Okay, so we have another question. Basically, it's hard to determine a good man just by looking at him. Again, we can't judge a book by its cover.
That's fair.
So unless we equate a good man as a good-looking man, how does one determine a good man?
Beauty's in the eyes of the beholder.
Character.
Yeah, but what if I can't get to see your character or get to learn your character because I wasn't attracted to you, so I don't even know that you're a good man, even in
So maybe it's just changing our mindset, getting outside of the box of, pardon the hate comments that I'm going to get about this, but getting outside of the mindset that we are always visual beings. I'll admit, I'm a visual person. I have dated, talked to plenty of guys that were amazingly beautiful creatures aesthetically.
Really? Like Idris Elba?
Yeah.
Kind of man?
Yeah.
Okay.
But were very much lacking.
Deficient.
Very much lacking in qualities. However, also on the flip side, haven't given a guy the time of day, because he may be tender to the eye.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, maybe seeing somebody else date him, or maybe learning about him through another friend, or just friend zoning him, and then realizing, because I've been like, oh, you're just friend, you're just friend, you're just a friend. He gets it in his head, and then I'm like, you know what? That guy is an amazing guy. But
so was it too little too late?
Sometimes in some instances it has been too little too late, and and sometimes the friendship has become such a concrete and solid friendship that you honestly don't want to dance around the subject of even taking that step into the romantic. It doesn't work out, and then you lose a friend and lose a new thing.
So we have another question. Is there room for a good man to make mistakes?
Of course.
Always.
That's what makes him a man.
I mean, humans, we make mistakes. We're not perfect. So everyone is going to make mistakes.
Of course. I've made plenty. I plan on making. Can I say I plan on making? I can't say that. I will make many more, but I think it's how you recover from the mistakes, owning them, and facing them.
Being accountable.
Yeah, being accountable, and moving ahead, and righting wrongs. I think that's what is the process in manhood overall. But of course, he makes mistakes, you make mistakes. But can you grow from them? Can you learn from them?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I always think that I have it in my mind from a teacher that I had many years ago. I won't tell you guys how long ago. But basically, when I was 5, that teacher told me when I walked into his class, you start with 100%. What you choose to do after this day will determine what grade you get. So I think that's how I look at relationships. You start with 100%, and can you falter and get an F? Sure, but can you work your way back up to an A? Most definitely. And I think a lot of the stuff that you guys said are ways that you can do it, but also just being forward, being open. Instead of owning a mistake, maybe knowing that you make a mistake and not waiting to be outed, but taking the power back by letting me know before I find out. Maybe I will never find out, but the fact is, it's integrity, and it's in you to let me know about it, to let me know that it was a mistake. That will show me that it's a mistake because you fessed up before, even if you weren't going to get necessarily outed per se, you fessed up, you're trying to right the wrong.
That's good. So people have taken this personal. Maybe why they're not participating or wanting to nominate, or maybe they're just like, no, not for me, or who knows. But why do you think that? Does it ring a chord with certain people? Is this too touchy of a subject? Is it like, who cares? We don't need to recognize them at all. Yeah. Like, what are your thoughts? What do you think?
I think it's a combination of things. I think some people are shy, but then we also got the feedback from last year, and we had the anonymity button so that you could be
anonymous.
Yes, and it didn't have to be a dating game for you. That and you could still vote for somebody, but still we're having issues with feedback on that aspect.
Do you think if it was spun of more of like a dating thing than just a general nominating thing, that it would get more buzz? Do you think?
I don't think so. How can I say this? I think that we've definitely become a society that is very now. And if it doesn't take 30 seconds or less, then it's way too much time. I think that a lot of the questions that we're asking, a lot of the questions that are being posed to us, are questions that take thought. And to initiate a response and initiate a proper response where you want what you're saying to come across as how you intended it, because saying things about the opposite sex or about relationships or about anything, the way it comes out can be misconstrued. And I think that's what it is. I think it's a little bit of a lot of people are late to the party. It's often when you shut everything down and shut up shop, that's when everybody's like, hey, I just got here. And you're like, party done. And party's been done for a while, which is, as you said, what we found was happening the first time around. We went out there, a couple people nominated people. We nominated people as well. There were a couple of good nominations, and then no real commentary. And then after everything had wrapped up, and we thanked all the people for nominating and thanked all the participants in that, then people were like, oh, when are you bringing this back again? Oh, when are you such and such? And we're like, well, we didn't even know that this was something you guys are interested in.
Okay.
Hence the reason that this was, spun again for 2015.
Yeah, so we definitely need your participation. We can't do it on our own and nominate everyone. And there's a lot of good men. So whether it's your, like I said, your husband, your brother, your cousin, your friend, you just want to show that you appreciate, or maybe even show ladies that, there's this really great guy out there who, might be looking for someone special, looking to kind of settle down or just have companion or get to know someone. I mean, you never know where to be friends. Like, at the end of the day, people want to meet people. Like, it's a way to network. You don't know how your paths may cross again in the future. So that's really important. I think, like, I always want to have a good, what's the word? First impression. Because you never know when you are going to bump into this person again, or when your paths are going to cross. So if we can get to know good people, why wouldn't we want to know good people?
That's true. We have another comment in the back here. So we have a comment, and the comment is, isn't a good man someone who makes that particular woman happy regardless of his job, race, or finances? He is not defined by what her friends say a good man is. Kind of like Relationship George and Friendship George. So what do we think about that?
But happiness to one is different. It's relative, right? Like, what makes me happy and what makes you happy is going to be two different happies.
But you know what? I can't lie. I have to say that I actually kind of agree with this person in the fact that, there is that issue where you have your friends saying, oh, he doesn't have the greatest job, oh, he's not that good looking, oh, such and such and such. And I think that's a sign on the part of the woman who's receiving, who's trying to date that male or whom that male is interested in. I think that's a part on her part of maturity. That's is she mature? Because she will have her friends, if her friends are talking in her ear and she's actually not letting that fall on deaf ears, then for sure, maybe she's not mature.
But I don't think necessarily that it's just about a maturity level, because what if this friend is always coming to you and you're always dating, let's say you're dating this guy, or you're always dating the same type of guy, and your friends are generally thinking of you and saying, okay, like, what is he bringing to the table? Because most times these friends are not coming from nowhere with these comments. The person who's now in the relationship or dating has said something to the friend to be like, for you to think of these, okay, so but if he's doing these things, why are you with him?
Yeah, but sometimes there are certain friends. Everybody has, I think, in their circle, different friends that represent different things. And you'll have some friends that are very, they mean well, but sometimes can be very bougie. And come on, let's tell the truth, it can be very bougie, and they'll be like, you know what? He doesn't make enough money. He's not somebody who could walk on your arm. You've got a 6-figure job, or you're in a really good position, and he works in a warehouse. Can you take him to your corporate events? Does he know how to act right? Again, judging a book by its cover. So that's not to say, but again, that's where I was coming from when I said, if that woman is listening to that, that's maturity on her part, because that's where she needs to tell her friend to fall back. Like, fall back, I got this. And your role as a friend is to support. And when things go awry, if they go awry, to go ahead and help to pick up the pieces.
So it depends on what type of friends you have. If they're well-meaning, or if they're just stush.
And I think everybody has a friend, like a stush friend. Tommy, you ain't got no job kind of friend. A friend who's very emotional and gets happy about every single thing. A friend that's toxic and pessimistic. Everybody has one of those friends. Like George Costanza, Kevin Hart, a Shakes. Everybody has a friend. Yeah, it's true.
I'm wondering if they don't want, the reason behind the lack of vote is that they don't want the man them to be big-headed.
Really?
I wonder if they don't want, because I think I would feel pretty good.
Yeah, for sure.
We think Milton is a good man, and see that on a website, that would make me sit up a little straighter, like I went to the chiropractor,
Okay.
And maybe there's some women out there who like,
No, if I tell him his head's gonna get bigger, more big than it is
already. Probably just droop off your head and your shoulders. Maybe that's why they don't want to acknowledge a man.
So we got a comment, sorry guys, from underscore Mr. Knight, and he says, can you guys nominate some guys? We also got a comment.
Who's guys? Me guy?
I don't know if he was talking to his peoples or he was talking to us.
Okay.
There was another comment following after that saying he calling him to task to nominate, and he has entered the call, and he has nominated at Kev Films and at TSN 416. He says 2 good guys that are family first / great people I look up to and respect. So you see, guys, the proof is in the pudding. People are doing it. It wasn't even a woman. It was a man.
You guys
most definitely.
You need to step up, ladies.
Step it up. Men, ladies, children, babies. Every baby knows how to use an iPad now.
Come on, ladies.
Get out there.
Is this thing working? It's working. Step up, please.
Like, we've got, I think it's March 15th, if I'm correct, is when the nominations close. We've got 2 weeks. We can push this in. Let's give the men their recognition. You know, we know, ladies, we know we got this. Who runs the world? Girls, we got it.
That's a song, by the way.
But at the end of the day, come on, like, you know, I'm not mad at giving a man some recognition. I will nominate as well, and you know, whether he's married or he's single, does not mean I'm thirsty. I in no way want him. Putting that disclaimer out there, I just recognize he is a good man.
And that's all it is. It's recognition of a good man. We just want to say, hey, we see you. We recognize you. And we want to let people know that you're a good man for whatever reason.
I also like the trickle-down effect that younger men who are coming along at 14, 15, you're able to see that all these other men around you are identified as good men. That, for me, would assist me in my trajectory.
Yeah, for sure.
I want to be one of those guys. I want to be recognized. Why?
And you know what? You really never know who's watching. There's always someone watching you.
It's true.
So, you know, to let people see who these good guys are, maybe they'll now start to watch. You know, they could be from the sideline thinking like, you know, I want to be like this person. I want to be athletic, or I want to participate more. I want to give back to my community. Whatever way that they're seeing these men that are being nominated, these younger men growing up today will be like, okay, these are the traits that I want to emulate.
And just to let you know, these married men are taking over right now, because since we started this live chat, we've had another edition for a nomination. A particular boo thing, my boo thing, has been nominated, not by her, has been nominated.
Good job, sir.
Saying he enjoys life and loves his wife and his family. So kudos, congratulations to all the nominees. We definitely, you know, we appreciate it on your behalf, and we're glad that you're getting recognized.
I'm a little jealous. Crystal.
There's still time. We still have some March 15th. There's lots of time. You have a few weeks left to nominate.
Oh, man. And you know what the question I had was, is there a certain age for this? Is there a minimum age for this nomination?
I would say a dating age.
So we're dealing with adults?
Well, adults.
18.
Okay.
18. I would say legal.
All right. So
yeah.
Because you know what?
I've never had the question.
18, like, I'm not sure if you really stepped into your manhood.
But there are a few other, remember, qualities can be what he does. Is he there for his family? Is he acting as the head of a household in a single parent family? Does he volunteer? Is he, you know, a hard worker, has a 4.0 GPA? There's a lot of stuff that can qualify a younger man to be role models for even younger men. Help the older cats step up their game.
Yes.
You know, with that coming to mind, somebody came to my mind. Terrell Francis.
Oh.
I think someone needs to put Terrell Francis on.
Nominate
Terrell,
right,
man.
So we're putting it out there. We know there's lots of people out there.
Someone in training, man.
He is MIT.
MIT. He's a man in training.
He's a man in training.
I'm gonna copyright that, by the way. Terrell. Someone put Terrell on the website, man. That guy is doing things. Any other feedback right now?
Let's check what we have going on. We really appreciate the nomination.
Thank you.
If you have any more questions, we do have a little bit more time.
That's true. Any more comments, let us know. Let us know how we're doing. You know, we just, as we said, very impromptu, very informal, very relaxed. We're just hamming it up, talking in the family room like we would when the cameras would not be on, letting you guys see a little bit of the banter that we have when the cameras are off.
And big up Classic 75.
Because we use words like me up.
Okay, so this is a good question because we haven't had any female nominate, any females do any nominations. So where is the female voice? Does there need to be a female voice?
Definitely.
Okay, and why do you say definitely?
I think that.
Wait, but before you say that,
okay.
Since you said that, you know, sometimes women can't even see what a good man is, how do we nominate if we can't see? We can't see.
All right.
So
here, borrow my glasses.
If you are blind,
if you can't see, Borrow the glasses. I promise you they're strong, and you can see a good man.
So maybe that's why we need the men to tell us who these good men are. Who's less than a man to tell me who a good man is?
And I mean, ladies, let's call it, you know, as I said, let's reiterate. It does not have to be the object of your affection. I mean, if Milton's wife doesn't get down to nominating him, I will nominate him. I've known Milton forever.
19 how long?
19 how long? Has always been a very respectable guy. Has always, you know, taken the charge and been very focused and very centered.
I appreciate that, but I didn't get any play. For some reason,
It's always finished last.
Why? That is frustrating. Why does everybody like Puffy and Biggie and them? Why you like that?
Not Puffy and Biggie.
Take that. But why is it? Because my personal experience is that just coming up, you know, I'm friend. Oh, he's a nice guy. He's so nice.
Because we need someone to, you know, to throw on their shoulder when the bad boys hurt us, right? It is what it is.
No more. I'm just like, I don't get it, because for me, I think it's confusing that women say they want a guy, but then when you grow up to be fairly decent, you know, those who know my skeletons, keep them buried, please. But pretty decent, but I'm not getting any play. But my brother who's roughing you up, he gets enough play. And then you want to go treat me like a pillow and go cry on me.
I think at the end of I think honestly, it's we have a little bit of caveman syndrome. We like that brute alpha male.
Why is that?
I don't know.
But the good guys are alpha male too.
I know. But sometimes the good guys, you're so good that it may not come off as trash. It comes off as.
I promise you, good guys can bully you too, you know.
It's not about the bullying. It just comes off like you can walk all over them.
Yes.
What is that?
Yeah, that's how it comes across. They're more like, okay, that's fine. That's how it comes across.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we should.
And we want to provide it.
Yeah, they want someone who's going to be a little.
This is so confusing.
We're confusing.
I can't navigate this minefield. So you want it to be nice, but you want it to be rough. But then you don't want him too rough.
No, we want him strong.
But a good guy is strong.
Yes, but a lot of the time we don't know that in a type of way. And I think.
So you like the peacock then? You like the one push out his chest and walk around, and there's probably nothing to back it up. You want the man who mash you up.
No, not necessarily. It's. I think it just comes to maybe not always. Sometimes people don't know what they want, so they think that what they see is what should be ideal for them. But what works for you doesn't work for me.
Okay.
So that's where.
Do you think that what it could be is that because women have this role of being a nurturer, that we often try to fix these bad boys and make them good guys?
A project.
We make them our project.
Oh.
It's very true. You think, oh, I'm going to be the one to change him.
Yeah.
You're not.
He's going to do this.
He's going to do this for me.
Because he
You're
loves
not.
me. He loves everyone.
He loves everybody.
The reality is he loves everyone.
And he'll take from you, and he'll take from your friend, and he'll take from her grandma.
And then you want to come to me to cry.
And we know this sometimes it just takes us a little bit of time.
So the question is, should we change this to, instead of identifying good men, identify ruffian? Maybe this is the ruffian project.
No, because we keep how you feel. Boycott. Ruffians get too much shine. This is why we're doing this. Because the good men are always saying we finish last.
Yes.
This is why we don't want to ruffians.
Don't finish last.
We want to recognize you. We want you guys to finish first.
And going back, I don't think this is a project for man to vote on man. I think it's a project for women to vote on man.
But so again, I have nothing wrong with recognizing.
I bigged up Terrell, but I'm saying I don't think this is website where all my brethren get up and vote for a man. I think that message is a bit confusing, particularly in this day and age.
Do you think that someone that you dated and it didn't work out, do you think that he could be a good guy now?
Or he was a good guy then, but just wasn't a good guy for you?
Yeah, but most women or some people don't ever get to that point. I always ask people, and my question is, can somebody help me understand this? How do you go from loving this person or thinking they're such a great person to now you guys are no longer together? You hate this person. He's a scum of the earth. You'd never want to interact. You don't want to talk to him. How do you go from such like, oh, this guy is so great and you love him and all these things, and turn around and you guys never speak? I don't get it. Like I get that people interact that way, but I don't understand it. It's a very, very thin line between love and hate. It sounds cliche, but it's so true. I've had one or two that I really loved, and there's a period of time, grown now, but there's a period of time where I really hated them, and it took a lot of care.
Okay.
Do you think that they're good men though, or do you? I hope they're good men now. I hope they're good men now. Were they ever good men? They tried to be good men.
Okay.
Just as I tried to be a good woman, but we both needed work. But relationships can be like a minefield, right? So when you're there studying, your agenda is to one up this person and push their buttons instead of scaling back and really taking a look at the other person, and even if they hurt you, you're not trying to hurt them worse, but trying to really look at it from how do I help them mend and how do I mend their hearts so that we can move forward. If you have all of this baggage and the scar tissue and all that kind of stuff, it ain't never gonna work. And I think that's where that hate comes in, is because there's all these issues that were never really solved, and we put a Band-Aid over them, and there were all these pretenses and promises that were broken, and I didn't say to you, when you broke this promise, you hurt me. That was really important to me. I just brushed it under the table and said, well, I don't care, you ain't nothing, you ain't never gonna be nothing, and then we continued on. If you ain't never gonna be nothing, why are we still together? Right? We need to pack it up.
But it's the ruffian. It's that project. It sounds like a nice project.
They do, but I mean, every project comes to an end.
Does it? Well, what happens to those women that just like projects?
They find a new project, but that project comes to an end. But do you think that does that not have more to do with the woman and maybe baggage that she's going that she has or stuff she's going through? Most definitely. Because why does she keep taking up projects? Say, why do I keep attracting, or why do I keep getting into the same situation? And on the flip side, is no good for me. The guy who the guy who was that girl. Why do you keep picking her up? She ain't doing nothing for you.
How often does that happen?
All the time.
A good guy picks up a
all the time.
Really?
You get her hair did. You get her nails did. You take her out. She don't do nothing.
And she doesn't do anything?
No.
She just eat up his money?
Yes.
Who would let somebody do that to them?
Lots of guys.
No. Well, we need to nominate them.
Stay in your lane, homie. Sip your tea.
Maybe we should have another project to identify the idiot then.
No. I'm pretty sure that they can identify themselves. Well, we have another nomination.
All right.
Is this from a man? It's not from a woman. But that's okay. We want you to go online and nominate.
Okay.
So this is for the best man, a brother from the sandbox, Mr. Martin, and he is single. They said that there is more info to come. So
Mr. Martin?
Mr. Martin.
Like J. Martin?
I don't know.
All right. Well, big up Mr. Martin.
Whoever you are.
Ladies,
we're waiting.
Come on, man. Do we have to force feed you?
Yes, the men are just doing it, man.
I don't understand.
Maybe you guys don't want to be online. You don't want us to call you out. You want to do it anonymously. That's cool. You can just go to the site,
www.McKenzien.com, right? You've got, what's today, the 27th? You got time, you got 2 weeks.
You have some time.
You can make it happen. Don't wait till last minute.
No.
Don't wait till last minute. You may call, it could be too late.
And that guy never knew.
And that guy never knew.
Never knew.
And you know what? Honestly, you never know what your compliment could do for this person.
That's correct.
What I've learned throughout this, we're only in February, but since 2015, I've learned that, you know, people are going through things, and it could be the slightest compliment that you give them, or kind word or interaction that really changes their mindset. So this male may be thinking, maybe I'm really not that great of a guy, or maybe, you know, there's things I have to work on, or I've been hearing so many women say there are no good guys out there, and I thought I was a good guy, but you know, so maybe now is the time to nominate and say, okay, now they can really look back and be like, okay, well, maybe I am a good guy.
And that someone's watching.
And someone is watching.
Someone
is noticing that I am a good guy. All my efforts are not in vain.
Sure. Yes.
So
come on, ladies.
Yeah.
All you single ladies.
We've got a little
All
bit of
you
time
ladies.
left.
Yes.
3-4 minutes before we start wrapping this up.
Please.
So
You know,
put in your last
comments.
Get your nominations in. Ask your questions if you have any. We want to hear. We are going to be wrapping up very soon, but we do thank you for participating. We want to thank you for tuning in.
Yes.
We want to thank you for your support for SBK and Milton M See. We do have things planned.
There are other things coming.
This is life, right?
Yes.
Sometimes we come up with an idea and we jump on it and it just happens. It's not something that we necessarily sit around and plan. Okay, this is what's on the itinerary this month. You know, we're just going with the flow. We want to enjoy life. You know, at the end of the day, everything is about being happy, and there is room at the end for everyone. If we just want to have a piece of the pie,
you want to have a piece of the pie, and if you've got stuff going on, follow us. We'll follow you back. We'll support your ventures. We've got a lot coming up. Before we start to wrap up, we want to just thank you, as always, for always coming up. We have a couple of more comments. Thank you guys for just putting us on the top and ending our year, our 2014 year outright. We didn't officially get to say thank you. The show in our own right was an amazing success. We promise we're going to try again. A lot of people have been asking, when you guys going to do this again? The next time we do it for 2015, it will be bigger, it will be better. Thank you for the kids. SBK kids are getting way more shy than us. Like, people are like, who are these kids? What are they doing? When are we going to see more of them? I think the first thing for us as mothers is we're still trying to navigate how we make them a part of the story, because they are a part of the story, without putting them out there all the time.
And, you know, to let us know what you want to see. Like, comment, give us feedback. Like, you know, this is interactive. So if you want to see more of the kids, then let us see that. We just want to shout out our fellow YouTuber, Danielle Aliana, on her cancer anniversary. She's celebrating 8 years free of cancer, and we just want to give you a shout out. If you haven't been following, to subscribe to our page. We want you to follow us on Instagram, Styles by Night. Follow us on Facebook. Tag us, add us,
like us, tell your friends about us.
And big up Hope Inspired Fitness.
Hope Inspired Fitness, doing big things. Big up Candy Apple Couture.
She was under the weather, but she's back.
But she's back. We're glad that, you know, she's doing things, big things this year. So we just want to show some love to some fellow bloggers that we really admire and respect. 2015 for a lot of people that we know, whether they're bloggers, whether they're trying to start their own business, whether they're making from careers and, you know, really going after their passions. A lot, as you know, TK said, only 2 months. And already we've been hearing so much stuff and so much progress. We're gonna just end off with getting some last comments that are out there. Just give us a second here. have to love the wonderful world of Wi-Fi and technology.
Thank you for being with us in this experiment.
Yeah, this was an experiment.
It was.
We're new to this.
Yep.
Everyone's trying a thing.
Yes, yes.
And we just thought it would be nice to be interactive and do it live than to try to film and edit and get all those things. And
You guys will get that
real
still
time.
too. Right.
Yes, this is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm on American Idol. I can't sing, you know? Oh, by the way, I have noticed that being online is a wardrobe killer, okay? So if you see me in this again, just don't say anything to me, all right?
Yeah.
Don't comment
on his page. Don't comment on his page and tell him who you wore that.
Yeah, don't call me out.
Don't call him out.
Yeah, don't call me out, you know? I might have to wear it backwards or something, but don't call me out.
So we're about to wrap up.
Yes.
Now it seems like, as Murphy's Law would have it, we're having trouble with our signal. So we're not able to see that last couple of comments. We're not getting anything else. Ooh, Hotspot Diva. We want to call you out as well. We want to thank you for your support. We want to thank you for just, being a part of our show last year. Wishing you continued success. We know things are going on for you, and we're constantly looking to support you. So shout out to her. If you guys don't know her, follow her, subscribe. I believe she's on YouTube. I know she's on Facebook
And Instagram.
So get out there, Miss Diva Michelle.
So again, we just want to say thank you so much for tuning in.
Yes.
Thanks very
This
much.
was the end of our SBK show. We hope that you still do decide to nominate, even if you didn't get a chance to weigh in tonight. You definitely have the opportunity to watch this on our YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe, like us, add us, Stars by Night.
And big up to Salt, bro. Thank you, sir.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Tomorrow's Friday. Yay!
Yes. And the end of the month.
It's the end of the month. Wake up. Yes, I like to dance a lot.
Very nice.